I remember the sensation of complete awareness, yet unable to draw breath. It was a moment suffused with a deep sense of foreboding, my thoughts racing with the realization that things were not going as they should. The doctor's face betrayed a mix of panic and sorrow as he uttered those fateful words. "I'm sorry, I can't save you." It was in that instant that I understood. I was slipping away. My maternal grandfather had passed away when my mother was just a girl, and my paternal grandfather left this world when I was a mere toddler of 2 or 3 years. Their voices seemed to echo, imploring me, "You can't go yet. There's still work to be done." New York City was my nurturing cradle, growing up in a warm and affectionate household. As the eldest of 3 brothers, we trod similar paths, lacrosse fields, lifeguard posts, and the same school in Connecticut, Quinnipiac. Yet, when the time came to spread our wings, I was the lone one to bid farewell to New York. At 23, I embarked on a fresh start in California, a stranger in Los Angeles. I washed up on those sunny shores and began anew, navigating interviews and the daily bustle of city life. In April 2012, I found myself at a friend's birthday celebration, savoring a slice of cake at a restaurant on a Sunday night. Despite opting for ginger ale over alcohol, I nonchalantly bit into the cake being passed around, only to discover a hidden peanut. Living with a lifelong allergy to peanuts and tree nuts, I had never knowingly ingested them. Unaware of the severity of my allergy for 24 years, I swallowed that peanut and felt a tingling sensation spread across my lips and tongue. I reached for a soda, hoping to soothe the tingling. Returning home that night, I took 2 Benadryl tablets, assuming it would all pass by morning. Yet, as I lay in bed, doubts crept in. Was the warmth I felt from the air conditioning, or was it something more ominous? My nervous system was on high alert, reacting to the recent event. In a moment of urgency, I hurried to locate my EpiPen, though it had expired. I'd heard they might still work beyond their expiration, but uncertainty lingered. Examining my reflection in the bathroom mirror, I saw red, hive-covered skin on my neck, face, arms, and armpits. Breathing grew strained. It was clear. I had to act. Deciding swiftly, I thought, this is my plan. It was a quiet Sunday night in Los Angeles, nearing 11 o'clock, with empty streets. I resolved to drive to the hospital. The experience of driving to the hospital during an allergic reaction was overwhelming. Breathing became increasingly difficult as I hurried into the emergency room. I vividly recall walking towards the nurse stationed at the desk and urgently informing her of my situation. As I fumbled to retrieve my driver's license, my motor skills were failing me. 10.5 years have passed, yet the memory remains vivid. The nurses swiftly reacted, leaping into action to assist me onto a bed surrounded by medical personnel. I distinctly remember the sensation of struggling to breathe. Uncertainty clouded my thoughts as I realized the severity of my condition. Amidst the chaos, the realization dawned upon me. This was serious. Once on the hospital bed, communication became impossible. Time seemed suspended as medical interventions were administered, Benadryl coursing through my veins, epinephrine injected, and oxygen supplied. Doctors and nurses focused on me, their urgency evident, but the anaphylaxis persisted. I recall the doctor's expression of distress when he acknowledged the gravity of the situation, confessing, "I'm sorry, I can't save you." At that moment, acceptance washed over me. Material concerns dissipated as I resigned myself to fate. However, amidst this acceptance, memories of my grandparents flooded my consciousness, their voices urging me to persevere. Their ethereal guidance reinvigorated my resolve. In a sudden shift, acceptance turned into defiance. I fought against the encroaching darkness, compelling myself to live. The transition was marked by a single breath, a harbinger of renewed determination. Over the ensuing 7 hours, I slowly stabilized. Hives receded, and the anaphylactic onslaught relented. Astonished, I inquired about the passage of time, only to learn that 7 hours had slipped by, transforming me beyond recognition. Released from the hospital, I returned home, unaware of the profound nature of my ordeal. Exhausted and sore, days were spent recuperating, grappling with the aftermath of intensive medical intervention. In the aftermath, life assumed a different hue. a reminder of the fragility of existence and the resilient spirit that propels us forward. After the physical pain subsided on the third day, I ventured outside and encountered a rose. Surprisingly, I detected its fragrance with astonishing clarity, a sensation that moved me to tears. These moments of emotional release were accompanied by a peculiar sensation, as if my vision was resetting itself. Sunlight became something to avoid, and my emotional and mental responses to stimuli underwent a noticeable transformation. For the next 6 to 7 months, each day began with a disorienting uncertainty about my emotional, spiritual, and mental identity. During this period, the concept of a near-death experience eluded me entirely. The term was unfamiliar, and I lacked any understanding of what was transpiring within me. It was during this perplexing time that I turned to the internet in search of answers. My quest led me to the Institute of Noetic Sciences, IONS website, where I stumbled upon a list detailing 30 traits associated with near-death experiences. Astonishingly, I identified with 29 out of the 30 traits, prompting a realization that something profound had indeed occurred. Connecting with a knowledgeable figure within the community provided a crucial breakthrough. Upon recounting my experiences, she gently revealed, "Oh, honey, you had a near-death experience." This revelation offered me a framework for comprehending the events that unfolded beyond the medical emergency. It opened the door for me to explore spirituality more deeply, drawing on my existing openness to psychics and mediums. The aftermath of such an experience encompasses a multitude of emotions: recovery, integration, spirituality, and the mental adjustments required to resume life in our physical world. Initially, I guarded this knowledge closely. When questioned, I minimized the narrative, focusing solely on the physical aspects of my ordeal while concealing the profound spiritual journey unfolding within me. Over the past decade, and continuing to this day, I've embarked on a lifelong journey of integrating this transformative experience into my life. Reflecting on my journey as an experiencer, I've come to view the near-death experience as merely 5% of the story. The remaining 95% is dedicated to what transpires thereafter, the process of integration, and the profound impact on one's outlook and purpose. Against all odds, I survived that night when, by all accounts, I should not have. Grateful for this second chance, I've been compelled to ask myself, what will I do with this gift of life? This question has become my guiding light. It propels me to seek ways, no matter how small, to make a positive impact, whether it's picking up litter or cultivating a mindset of gratitude in the face of adversity. After 8 years of silence, I've chosen to share my story openly, driven by a desire to give back. I don't know who might benefit from hearing my experience, whether they seek solace, guidance, or simply a connection with someone who has traversed a similar path. In sharing my journey, I extend a gesture of gratitude to the universe, acknowledging that my return to life was not without purpose. While the nature of this purpose remains elusive, I am committed to living authentically and extending a hand to others in their own journeys of discovery and recovery.